There are 6 grandchildren in the Crawley estate, all of whom are expected to continue the story in the upcoming Downton Abbey films. Let's get to know them better, shall we? We'll start off with the oldest one, Sibi. Just a fair warning, spoilers for Downton Abbey, a new era ahead. Sibi is the first grandchild of Cora and Robert. She is the daughter and only child of Tom Branson and the late Lady Sybil Branson. Sadly, her mother lost her life while giving birth to her. Fans couldn't make peace with the fact that the fan-favorite character was gone, but that's what Jessica Brown Findlay wanted, and we have to respect her decision. Anyway, Lady Sybil was the youngest and the most rebellious one of the Crawley sisters. The storyline with her marrying Tom, the family chauffeur, was one of the best storylines in the entire show, and there's not a single soul who didn't enjoy the character. She wasn't after money or power, all she wanted was love. Sibi was born at some point between April and September 1920. Shortly after her birth, her mother Sybil died from eclampsia. And then, Tom wanted to take her and move to Liverpool, but the Crawley family accepted him, and so he stayed in Downton. In the first Downton Abbey film, Sibi was said to be 7 years old. She has a really good bond with her cousin, George. You're probably wondering, why the hell are they making a video of all the Downton grandchildren? Well, because it's time. The second film of the franchise premiered this year with one of the most heartbreaking deaths in the entire history of cinema. And since we want more Downton projects in the future, we need to be ready to see the new generation of characters leading the new projects. As sad as it sounds, we'll have to say goodbye to Lady Mary, Lady Edith, Cora, and Robert at some point in the future. That's why it's time to meet George. George Crawley is the son of the late Matthew Crawley and Lady Mary Crawley. Lady Mary is the oldest of the Crawley sisters, and back when she first met Matthew, she was everything but attracted to him. As you already know, the initial heir of the Downton estate lost his life in the Titanic, and because of that, Matthew, a distant relation to Robert Crawley, was set to be the new heir to the estate. After dealing with some struggles, Mary and Matthew realized they are crazy for each other and got married in 1920. George was born in September 1921, and sadly, the little boy lost his father as he died in a tragic car crash on his way home from the hospital the same day George was born. Damn, we seriously miss Matthew. He was such a good character. Don't you agree? Anyway, because Matthew died, George became the next heir of the Downton estate, since Sibi is a girl. Lady Mary faced a lot of difficulties before she found the strength to continue with her life, and 4 years after her husband's death, Mary married Henry Talbot. George is 6 years old in the first film, but his stepfather is nowhere to be found in the second one. Apparently, the actor who plays the character had no time for Downton Abbey: A New Era. If there are any future Downton projects, we hope the creators don't kill off Henry, because that would be too much for Lady Mary and her lovely child. George has a younger half-sister called Caroline, the daughter of Henry and Mary Talbot. She is 5 years younger than him, but we'll get into more details about her a bit later in the video. Now, do you know what time it is? It's time for you to smash that like button if you haven't done it already. Now, let's meet the third grandchild of Cora and Robert, shall we? Marigold. Marigold had to go through some struggles when just a baby because she is the secret illegitimate daughter of the late Michael Gregson and Lady Edith Pelham. Lady Edith is the middle Crawley sister. She and Michael were in love with each other and wanted to get married, but Michael had a wife whom he wasn't able to divorce because of her mental illness. Because of the rules in England, Michael went to Germany to become a German citizen and divorce his wife. His plan was to divorce her and marry Edith. However, in his first night in Germany, Michael was killed. Meanwhile, Edith discovered that she was pregnant and didn't know what to do because she knew the consequences of having an illegitimate child. She knew a scandal followed if she decides to give birth to her baby. she went to Switzerland and gave birth to her daughter there. Marigold was born in late 1922 or early 1923. But since Edith's life would have been ruined if she told anyone about her child, Marigold was adopted by a childless Swiss couple. But since giving your child away is perhaps the most difficult thing a person can do, Edith decided that she wants her daughter back and went to Switzerland to reclaim her. Marigold was then adopted by Timothy Drew and his wife Margie. Margie had no idea that Edith is the daughter of Lord Crawley, and she was really upset over Edith's constant presence in her house. And then she stopped letting Edith in. Edith was eventually able to take her child back, and she brought her daughter to London. Thanks to her mother, Edith was able to raise her child on the Downton estate, and she didn't have to live a life filled with emptiness. Edith later married Herbert Pelham, the Marquess of Hexham, who became Marigold's stepfather. Herbert didn't care that Edith had an illegitimate child, and he married her despite that. We also need to mention that with the new title, once referred to as Poor Edith, is now the most powerful member of the Crawley family. Fans also enjoy the scenes with Edith and her child, as she loves her daughter very, very much. Considering all the struggle she went through in order to keep her, it's kind of understandable. Marigold is 4 or 5 years old in the first film. Now, let's meet the adorable Caroline. As you can see, Downton Abbey has a huge cast ensemble, many of whom are part of the Crawley family. So this video is cool if you're still trying to remember who's who. We've got you covered. Caroline is the daughter of Henry Talbot and Lady Mary Crawley. After 1 year of knowing each other, Henry and Lady Mary married in 1925. Interestingly enough, Mary had an 8-year relationship with Matthew Crawley before they married. Anyway, Caroline was born 1 year after they got married, so she was 1 year old in the Downton Abbey film set in 1927. But before we continue, we have to ask, would you guys want to see projects led by the new generation of Downton Abbey characters? Perhaps a spin-off would be a good idea. What do you think? Let us know before we get into the details about Peter. Peter is the son of Bertie Pelham and Lady Edith Crawley. Edith found out she was pregnant in the first film of the franchise, and she was really worried because her husband, Bertie, was supposed to be absent at the time she was going to give birth to Peter. King George had asked him to accompany him during an upcoming tour. However, thanks to Lady Mary, Bertie was released from this duty. Peter is born sometime in 1928, and he's the second youngest grandchild to Cora and Robert. The youngest one is Violet. Tom marries Lucy, the secret daughter of Maud Bagshaw in the second film of the franchise. By the end of the movie, the two have a baby. As Tom once said, it's time for you to smash that subscribe button and notification bell so you never miss any of our videos in the future. No, but seriously, in the film, it's implied that the baby's name is Violet. See you in the next video.